Crickets. I know.
Screen.
Jason. Some more orphans. That's what we're doing. It's.
And it's ready.
I might not.
Ready. Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm asking for a unanimous approval to add Mark Crum retirement notice effective the end of the 24-25 school year contract under the personnel report. Are there any objections? None. Then we're going to add this item to the agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
So we're going to use that. Adoption of the agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda for the July 7th, 2025 regular meeting as presented. All in favor?
Motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion.
So make that motion.
And hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes from the June 16th, 2025 regular board meeting. Motion,
Motion.
Kirk. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Public comments. The board president will entertain comments from patrons on any agenda item. During the meeting, no action will be taken on any item presented. Rest because we don't have any, correct?
Correct.
Personnel report. New hires. B, extracurricular appointments. So the superintendent recommends the board approve item A and B. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Kirk and Dr. Brown.
So a little discussion on that. First of all, Christy Mack is with us. Ms. Tarno, would you like to introduce her?
I do. You have to stand up. Oh, the Star of Honor. So this is Christy Back, and if she looks familiar, it's because she is. She worked here in our special ed department as a paraprofessional for, we think, 7 years. They're all blending together, but we think around 2009-ish. For about 7 years. She left us and decided she wanted to go back and get her license to be a special ed teacher. So she's been in a neighboring town and has done a wonderful job, but she lives here in Knox and is really excited to be back with us. And so she'll be taking on that new special ed teacher that you were able to give us this year. So we're excited to have her on board.
I'm excited to be here.
Also, Chris, you had approved last week, Katie Philippas, last meeting, sorry. And she was planning to be here today. I wanted you to be able to meet her as well. And she had a family situation came up this morning. So she sends her apologies. It was an unexpected event, but I just wanted to make sure you had a face behind the name.
First of all, welcome to the Knox family. We're very excited to have you, and also to the board. Thank you guys for approving that position for the special needs. I know that we had lots of conversation about that and the need for this. So we're definitely excited to have you here.
Okay, thank
She'll
you.
be busy.
Thank you. Thank you for coming tonight, too.
Welcome.
We also have on here Kelly Austin, who is going to be our new transportation director. She comes to us, she was with Portage for 11 years. And then she was in Michigan at St. Joe's for a year there. We spent many hours interviewing for this position. Chris Code did an amazing job. Thank you for coming tonight. She really held the fort down for us during that time. So we really appreciate you and everything that you've done. In talking with Kelly, she's definitely excited to work with you, as a team. So we're definitely excited to bring her in. She had by far the most experience out of all of the candidates that we had. The hope is that she's going to take our transportation department to the next level. So we're excited to have her. Also, we added Mark Crom to the list tonight. He did stop in today and is wishing to retire. That kind of popped up out of nowhere. So we will be looking for a new high school science teacher, possibly. We got to see what we're doing internally, but Mr. Crom has been amazing for us. He is still going to coach because he coaches tennis. So he's still going to do that. Nothing but great things to say about him. And congratulations to him on retiring, and being able to move on to the next part of his life. So definitely excited for him. And then also Lily is already a teacher with us. She's going to be a volunteer assistant at the high school level. She'll also do some middle school basketball for us, which that approval will come later. And then Brock is actually joining the tennis team as an assistant coach, and that is where Mr. Crom was, but he's still going to be coaching the girls tennis team. So that's our personnel report.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, business. Complaint. The superintendent recommends the board approve the claims as listed on page 12. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Autumn?
I'll second it.
Kirk?
Yep, nothing, just normal routine business.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Food service bid renewal. The superintendent recommends the board approve the food service bid renewal as listed on page 28. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Kirk, second?
Second.
Karen?
So this is our annual contract we have with these, there's 13 schools that are involved in there. And they go out and they do a bidding process for all the schools with this. The kind of the way our food service works, is they have a dietitian, who they come in, they make sure we're, have all these state regulations and we're up to date on all the policies that the state needs. They order all the food. We supply the people, that's our role in this. So this is just the annual contract with them. But the one thing they did change this year in the bidding process was milk. They were changing vendors there. We got a better deal with a different company for our each little carton of milk. So we did make a change there, but normal business with that food service.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Rainy day fund resolution. The superintendent recommends the board approve the resolution for rainy day fund as listed on page 29. Motion?
Motion.
Aaron, second.
Second.
Autumn.
So we've had a big push to look at all of our policies, right? That's really what we've been doing over the last, 6 months-ish. The rainy day resolution hasn't been updated since 2006. So it's time to update that. We collaborated with Mr. Kaminsky's office to draft up a new policy. It mirrors not only what we had, but also what other school districts are doing. So what you're seeing there in your packet is just the new resolution for rainy day.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Transfer of funds. The superintendent recommends the board approve the transfer of $1.5 million from the education fund to the rainy day fund. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
So what we have here is with all the middle school HVAC system that we had problems last year, we were taking out of the rainy day fund to pay for all of those upgrades and needs that we had. So there's two parts to this. We are reimbursing the money that was in rainy day. But then part two of this is the next construction project, which we're working on tonight with getting the bond moving forward, is all the vertical units that are in each individual classroom. And what's going to happen here is the plan is this summer, we have to get those ordered. So we will order those through this rainy day money that is in there. And once the bond is complete and we receive that money, we'll be reimbursing rainy day again. So that's the plans there for that.
So this, we're transferring it from the education.
Correct. From the education to the rainy day.
So just if we needed to transfer that back for some reason, we're able to do so, or I know we can only transfer certain things, certain times, some things.
Yes, you can transfer back. You know, the nice thing about rainy day, that's kind of your big savings account, right? And we can spend that, you know, for construction projects and things like that. It's kind of like your savings account. So yes, it can be transferred or we can pay for different things out of there. That is correct.
So what do we have in rating now?
It was 2.5, I believe. I believe it went down to 1.6. I would have to double check that. 1.2, something like that. So this is that reimbursement, with a little pad to buy those vertical units.
Is there any recommendation as to how much money should be maintained in a fund like that or what?
Off the top of my head, they give, I forget exactly what the recommendation is, but we're right at that point. I forget exactly what it percentage of it is. I can follow up with you on that.
Okay, and that doesn't have any consequences on the educational fund if it's got less money in it, we don't need to do anything.
No, because we have a budget that state approves in the education fund that we're only allowed to spend this much in there. And then there's a little bit of that savings in there, and that's what we moved. So it doesn't affect our education budget at all.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Do you know how much a rainy day, what you should be off the top of your head?
No, that's.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Roll discussion. The superintendent will discuss with the board numerous revisions to several policies along with new proposed policies and replacement policies. These will be voted on at the following board meeting. Any questions, comments?
So, you have 17 pages of Neola policy in your packet. I'm not going to go through each individual one, but I will tell you a story. Dan from Neola, he's been absolutely amazing. We met for, boy, what was it, 3-4 hours? Right at the end of school. And basically what we did was all the new legislation that came out. These are all the updates, from that legislation. Session that they had. You know, you can look at all of the things that are in there. I could go through and list them, but there's a ton. The other thing that we have going on is actually next Wednesday. We asked him to look at all of our Neola policy and kind of do an audit of every single policy that we have to know that we are compliant with where we need to be. So we have 2 dates set. The first one is going to be Wednesday, where we're spending another 3 to 4 hours of time going through our policies to make sure everything is up to date. So there's kind of two parts to this. You're getting 17 pages of Neola policy now. We'll approve that at the next meeting, but also look at the next meeting. You're going to have another 17 pages of Neola policy. But you know, the idea is that we get this done before school starts, so that we have a clear path of where we're going.
And he'll make sure we have all the mandatory policies that we need.
Correct. So what you're seeing today is a lot of the new legislation. I think we have a little bit more to go, but this is the bulk of it. What you're going to see next time is anything that has been missed over the years, because we want to make sure we're up to date.
And then we're going to continue to do that on some kind of rotation like that.
So what they do, anytime there is anything new that comes out, they give us, so Jared and I work very well together on this. They send us here's your update, right? And then we get, I want to say it's 2 hours from Dan, our rep, every time they do an update. So as long as we stay compliant with those 2 hours and those updates, we will be good. Right. I just don't know what has happened prior to me if everything was done.
Okay.
So that's what we're reviewing.
It's very typical, Dr. Brown, of
them, that part of the service they do is as things change, they're very good about.
They are very good.
And now we, in the past, I think we've been very good at following up with, if something's changed with state laws and it's been done, so.
So if you don't have to, unlike a year from now, if you don't have to have a policy, they would catch that.
They
too.
would take it out. And in your packet, you'll see somewhere where things just got striped out. You know, this policy is no longer here, it got moved over here, so this one is wiped. So yeah, it's quite a
Okay.
extensive monster, so to speak, with everything that they do.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing on lease and hearing on additional appropriation. The chair will entertain a motion to open the hearing on lease and hearing on additional appropriation. Motion? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Public comments regarding hearing on lease and hearing on additional appropriation?
Motion.
Motion.
That's required.
The chair will entertain a motion to close the hearing on lease and hearing on additional appropriation.
Discussion.
Motion? Kirk, do you-
Yes.
Second?
Second.
So just to kind of give you an update, this is, and I'll go through some of these with you guys. This is all the paperwork for the bond, right? This is, comes from, Baker Tilly and Ice Miller and all them. They arrange this. This is typical protocol anytime we do a bond. This bond is very similar to what you guys did back in, 2019, 2020, for the Career Center. Actually, it's pretty much identical to that of what you guys did. So it's very, as we go through this is the protocol for it.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, proof of publication. The chair recommends that we approve the proofs of publication for the notice of this meeting with respect to the proposed lease and the hearing on additional appropriation of funds published in the Leader on May 22nd, 2025. Motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All this is the receipt that we have sent it in, and what they charge us to. This is kind of our way of saying, yes, we did publish this, to make it active to the public.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution authorizing execution of lease. Page 49. The chair recommends the board adopt the resolution authorizing execution of lease agreement as listed on page 49, Exhibit A. Motion?
Second.
So all this is, anytime you go and get a loan, you gotta have a lease against something. The middle school's building that we did it against last time. So this is just saying that we're going to continue to use the middle school as part of the lease.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution additional appropriation. The chair recommends the board adopt the additional appropriation resolution as listed on page 51, Exhibit B. Motion?
Motion.
Second? Second.
This is saying is that, when you put the middle school building up, the bond will be for 6.6 million. And that's what this is stating, is that's the agreement that we have.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution reapproving building corporation, page 52. The chair recommends the board approve the resignations of the previous building corporation members and approve the reapproving building corporation resolution as listed on page 52, Exhibit C. Motion?
Motion.
Kirk? Gary?
So back in 2019, I believe it was, when you guys did this, you had a team of three that was kind of the board that ran this lease. And we were advised, it's always good to refresh those people. So what you have here in your packet is the resignation of those three people who were on that committee. And then we will be bringing you three new ones here at the next board meeting as the new representatives for the state.
Right there.
Oh, they're already in there. Well, there you go. So the three people are, Jim Condon, Chrissy Lionheart, and Jake McIntyre. So those are the three people that, will be now part of this team.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution assigning construction bids and contracts, page 57. The chair recommends the board approve the assigning construction bids and contracts resolution as listed on page 57, Exhibit D. Motion,
Second.
Mr. Brown.
Well, this talks about, it's kind of the scope of work that we have, the big thing being the HVAC, the middle school and those individual classrooms. We're looking at the bleachers at the elementary level, you know, and then there's other little projects that we want to do, but this just kind of defines the scope of work.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution approving third supplement to master continuing disclosure undertaking, page 58. The chair recommends the board approve the resolution approving third supplement to master continuing disclosure undertaking as listed on page 58, Exhibit E. Motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Gary?
This is kind of the final stamp of approval. That's what that is.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Construction update. The superintendent will update the board on the high school construction project.
Okay, so here we go. See if I can do this. Ooh, okay, we're getting somewhere. Where did my, oh, here it is. Okay. Technology's awesome, right? Hey, look at this. So what you're looking at here, this is our construction. What we have, I can even see, let me see if I can actually move the camera. Oh, look at this, huh? High tech stuff. Chris, our tech is going to be proud of me. Not that you can see that exactly, but what you're looking at here, this is our counselor's office. This is on the north side of the building, where this is the sidewalk. So there used to be the siding right here that is completely ripped off, and into the classroom. We do have the big tarps as you guys drive through there and see, but we walked through it today. Gary and I walked through it, and this is Gary. This is exactly what you see, isn't it?
Yep.
When you walk through there.
They're putting that balcony out there for,
Yeah, walk
Yeah.
out balcony. That'd be really nice, right? Keep it just like that. This is again a picture of the north side, you know, how they're tearing off that siding. This is a picture of the south side. So this is the roof. You know, they had this big boom lift right here that had to come over. This is right on the inside of our classrooms here, which I think you'll see in the next photo. Yep. So you can see it. The glass right now is still in. The plan is for all this glass to come out, but they wanted to wait until the glass people were ready. But as you can see, I mean, you walk in those classrooms and you can see right out the classroom, right onto the football field. That's just a zoomed in picture there of the construction. They currently are putting the metal studs in to put the drywall and the new siding on. They're starting on the southeast side and moving to the southwest side. So those brackets are going in. We're right on time with construction. Again, this is the north side classroom. There's a sidewalk right here, and that's the top of that awning. I think that's the last one. So,
Question for you. The glass, the cafeteria glass, is that just because it's all gonna be new, like energy efficient glass? Is that what, I mean, still gonna be glass, correct?
still gonna be glass,
This is
correct?
the new upgrade.
Yep, you know, so what stories that we found out as they were taking off the siding, it snaps in like you snap in a floor, right? You know, and give it a hit and it snaps in. Apparently there was supposed to be some caulk that went down there before they snapped them in. Well, I guess there wasn't any caulk there. Again, that was back from the 70s, you know, so that it is what it is. But I guess the panels came off very easy. They were expecting them to come off very difficult because of that reason. I guess it's just like taking apart a puzzle. So we are going to be much more energy efficient with this. The glass will be better. So we're excited. We're right on target. The plan is that this whole south side, the interior walls will be up. It will be drywalled, mudded, taped. The siding will be on it by the time school starts. When school starts, we may have to do some painting still, but we still can have kids in classrooms. And that's the entire south side. This right here where the counselor's office, this part here, this will be finished up in August. Okay, this is on the north side. So you'll have a couple classrooms here that won't be available along with the counselors. And then once this gets close to being complete in August, they're going to move over to this side. So we'll have a couple classrooms here that will be down for the month of September, a little bit into October. And then by the end of October, these classrooms will be up and running, and they, by November, won't want to be out of there. So that's kind of the process. Mr. Els and I, we've already had some conversations about what this looks like, you know, for our kids and moving teachers around. And obviously the teachers are aware of everything. So as of right now, we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. We're pretty happy where we're at. They've been working through the heat, you know, which has been challenging and difficult for them. So no.
Do we have room like for them to be temporarily? Or that's what you guys are?
Yes,
still
no,
working
we have room for them to be, we have a couple empty classrooms. I think we have 3 empty classrooms anyways, where we can move people around as needed. So that's not a problem. Cause that's roughly, you'll have the whole south side will be ready. And there's roughly about 3 classrooms there that we'll have to adjust and move. And, we're okay on rooms for everybody.
And the glass, so I'm assuming that, you know, because with safety nowadays, like they recommend not a whole lot of glass, but I'm assuming that this is probably, I mean, obviously better than what we did have.
Correct. This is, you know, it's that shatterproof stuff that,
Okay.
you know, and,
Okay.
it is a bulletproof. I don't know. But it is better glass, and it is that spider glass that, you know, like your windshield, if you hit your windshield, it'll spider, it just won't crack out everywhere.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, that's exciting. Public comments on items not on the agenda. The board president will entertain comments from patrons on items not on the agenda. Have any? So comments or questions from administrators and the board? Kirk?
I just want to wish Mr. Crum the best. He'll be missed, I'm sure. Great. That's all.
Dr. Brown?
Nope, I'm good.
Still sunshine over there?
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
Okay, Autumn?
Yeah.
Gary?
Welcome aboard. And when he says that the building will be ready, I'll believe it when I see it. So that's all I have.
Yeah, that's the plan, right? That's the plan.
I just wanted to thank you, Chris. It sounds like it was a smooth transition, and I'm sure that it still will be with the new director. So thank you very much for stepping up and doing all that.
Time, my pleasure.
And then thank you too for participating in the family day this weekend. So that was nice to
Nice
see
cool
that.
day.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it was probably nice for you. You're always freezing.
It's a little too much. Actually.
How did the dunk tank at the fair go?
Don't take it the fair. It was actually really fun. It was really fun. I you know, I enjoyed that, right? It was good. It was good to see the kids and the parents and all that. But what I enjoyed even more was just walking around the fair, seeing all the kids, seeing their projects. You know, I walked through each individual building. I saw our kids and you know, whether it was a Lego or a quilt that they made or whatever. I mean, it was really fun to see all of their projects, the animals that they have, you know, and again, you develop that bond and that relationship with those kids that you come in contact with over there, because now you got a talking point with them, you know. So as much as fun as the dunk tank was, which went over very well, it was just as fun to see everything that was going on.
It was nice to see some teachers volunteer as well.
Yes, Yes.
And I don't.
That's all I got. Okay. So I have two items for the board. The first is I need to inform you that we will hold a public hearing concerning the Ed Flex waivers. We did this last year in November. It's annual now, but the state has decided the deadline is July 30th for me to submit everything, and they just sent this out in time for me to announce that we're having this on July 21st. So that's where parents, educators, and any other interested community stakeholders will have an opportunity to comment on the waivers. We will be requesting once again 2 waivers. We are required to request waiver number 2. And I'll go into it more next time, but just to let you know, that's for our paraprofessionals to be highly qualified. And to do that, they have to go through special training. So I will talk to you about that. The other one is for the Title IV grant. And again, I'll explain more, but that is so we can use our money. There are 3 focus areas, they're called. If you get a waiver, you can use it, the money in only 2 of the 3 waivers, which is what we're going to request. So this is just an official announcement, which we have to do and upload to the state documentation that I announced this, that we're having the hearing. Then at the hearing, we'll open it up and comments will come, and then that will also be uploaded. So that's the first item. The second item, we received apparently our AP scores. Now, I haven't received them all because I just heard today, apparently your son did quite well
Good. He was so
in
excited.
statistics, but I haven't received those. I have only received the AP English scores. And I would like to present those to you tonight to tell you that this is for AP English. If you remember from before, you can score, a student scores a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any student who scores a 3, 4, or 5 can earn college credit. So rather important. And we had 16 students take the test. We have 14 of 16 who now can receive college credit. That is phenomenal. And much congratulations to the students and to Mrs. Matizak. Michelle Matizak is our AP English teacher. She didn't know I was going to present those tonight, but she always shares them with us. So that is great. Additionally, for one of the first times, for AP English, there are 3 content areas, 3 domains. In all 3 of those, it was poetry analysis, prose fiction analysis, and literary argument. Our students, Knox students, scored above both the Indiana and the global average scores. That is huge. So I wanted to present the good news to you.
Thank you.
Because those teachers, to do that, they have to take additional,
Schooling,
right?
yes, between
Okay.
AP and dual credit, yes. Not just anyone can teach that course. For AP, you have to have the additional training, dual credit, you have to have your master's and additional training from the university. So,
Yeah.
so we're
I mean,
blessed.
that's- yes,
We're
very
blessed that we have people who are still certified, shall I say? That's going to be, we struggle in those areas as people retire. Because the younger teachers do not have to have a master's degree like in my day. We older ones we were required that. So to actually, and you have to keep it up. It's not, you just get your master's, now do dual credit. You have to go through enough hours to up that. And they do that on their own. So kudos to all of them.
Yes, so that's much appreciated. So.
Okay.
You're up. That's it.
All right, fair enough. Ms. Code, I just want to, again, thank you. You've been phenomenal on this. You're not going anywhere. You're still going to be involved in some of the process that's going on, but I can't thank you enough personally for what you did for us during that transition period. You were phenomenal, and I just want to tell you thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. I do it for my people.
Yes, absolutely. What I want to touch on with you guys is our strategic plan. I don't want to forget about this. I want to keep this moving forward with us. And I kind of want to talk about where we've been over the past six months or so. I'll give you yours back in a minute after I read it. Where we've been, we started this process in January. And we really started working on our collective norms, right? Our school board collective norms. What do we believe in as a board? And we identified 5 things, right? Prioritizing student success. That is number 1. That's where we want to put our focus on. Uphold fiscal responsibility. Focus on governance, not management. Maintain professionalism in all interactions, and practice active listening. There you go. Sorry, I stole those from you. So we really focus on those for about the first 3 months or so. And then we turned our attention to really 3 parts: our goals, our vision, and our mission. And as you guys saw in your notes, we wanted academic goals, and we really wanted to challenge our teachers, our admin, and our students to improve, right? That's really the conversations that we had. We know that 3 to 5% ideally each year is good if you can make that grow. And we kind of wanted to reach for the stars with that 5%, right? So I do want to read these goals. They're not set in stone yet, but this is what we're presenting. The first one is the percentage of Knox students in grades 3 through 8 who demonstrate proficiency on the iLearn ELA assessment will increase from 33% in the spring of 25 to 48% in the spring of 28, right? We have 3-year goals, right? Ideally 3 to 5 year goals is where we want to be. So these are kind of these 3-year goals that we want a 5% increase each year. The second one is percentage of Knox students in grades 3 through 8 will demonstrate proficiency on the iLearn math assessment, going from 37% in the spring of 25, which is now, to 52% in the spring of 28. And then the last one is the percentage of Knox students in grade 11 who demonstrate proficiency on the SAT math assessment will go from 10% to 25%. Again, that's 5% each school year by 2028. So those are, we're very close to those. If we want to refine them, we can, but that decision needs to be made here so that we can get that information out to our admin team. We talked about our vision statement, of what that looks like. Where we're at right now is KCSC will be the school corporation of choice, setting the standard for excellence in every endeavor. We will lead the way and redefine what's possible to make success our tradition. So I like where we're at with that. If there's anything that you guys want to tweak, let's have that conversation. Again, that's something that I would like to have in stone here before school starts. And the last big thing we have to do is the mission. I'm not going to go over that right now, but make sure you guys read your notes on that. I do want to have a good, healthy discussion here in the future of what that looks like from your guys' perspective. And again, I would love to have that in place by the time school starts here. So we'll have to do some conversation here at the next, probably have a little work session or something after the next meeting. But in the meantime, think about what that looks like for you guys. Okay. Any questions about the strategic plan that we have? Not, I am good.
Okay. Kurt?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.